is
You like my
Tuesday,
Brovicast
September
Tuesday?
24th. And we're going to be learning about cool and popular kids today. Yes, child?
Cool. Which one is the one next to the girl?
So tomorrow we have your volleyball house point
Is
game.
it over here?
There is a, I think it's called ignoring you. It's like paying attention, but
Is that your head right
still
now?
not paying,
That
it's
ball?
the not paying attention to you part.
Okay, sorry.
It happens. We have a game tonight. It is not for the house point. This is just a game because it's the same night as the football game. Tomorrow is the volleyball house point game since they had to move the football game till tonight. If you go to volleyball game tomorrow, it's at 5:30. You get house point and you get B point. You just have to wave at me and I'll wave back at you and I'll write you down and everything will be good. And then also you have a chance for house point and B point coming up on Thursday of this week. Because if you dress in something with the school or a college on it, it is college week, and so Thursday is college day. So all you have to do is wear something with a college on it, and then I can give you a house point and B point on Thursday also. And then we'll get to this in just a moment, and hopefully you can put that entry in there. Hi Daniel, what's up?
Can I be the student of the week?
Yeah, you just gotta make good choices.
Oh, man,
That's how it
I
works.
did. I did all my work. I'm on fire. Can I please do it?
I don't find out at the end of the week.
Alright. Go for it. If I'm not there, I'll be mad.
We did ironing yesterday, and then hopefully from there it's helped you somewhat with the understanding of ironing. We do have a story coming up that's going to deal with irony and stuff, those things. You know, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to help you with anything.
No, yeah.
Jaden,
Where do you buy the hoodies and the shirts?
for what?
The pink thingies? I think you mean like
The pink thing?
Yeah.
There's-
I haven't
Oh,
bothered
the one
buying
pink?
one of those. Where do you get the tiger shirt hoodie?
Think the library.
The Charger ones.
Oh, they sell them at lunch like once a month. It just has wait whenever's in the announcements. So I don't know.
Oh, man.
Brandon,
Is it online? The hero shirt's gonna be done?
I'm hoping so. I haven't finished designing them yet, but I'll figure out something.
Hope you don't have a demo on it, like you always do.
So,
Period 5
for
is
the
best.
story quiz you guys took last Friday, if you got lower than a 21, should say 21, but anyway. What the heck you doing? Hang on 1 second. Pause.
Yeah, hold the camera.
Last
So embarrassing. I apologize. It's all fixed now. So, if you got lower than a 21 on the quiz, meaning you got lower than a C minus, my goal is that you can retake it, and then I have now opened it up so you can redo the quiz. You can get all the way up to a C minus, which is the 21 out of 30. The way I run my class is I want to make it really hard for you to fail my class. The biggest grades in my class are going to be quizzes and stuff like that. So as soon as you don't do well on quiz, I will almost always try to give you an opportunity to retake quiz and get up to a C minus. The only way to get the A or the B is you have to get that on the day of the quiz. That's my way of trying to reward those kids who prepared. So I'm going to go through the questions with you guys, not all of them because a lot of the questions you guys did well on. So I'm only going to go over like 9 of the questions on there that you guys struggled on, and then that way if you want to redo it, you can. If you're happy with your grade, that's fine with me. But I also know that you have big people in your house that sometimes yell at you for grades, and this is an easy way to fix it. Ooh. Alright. This does not impact your grade. This is just me asking. With the story last week, by a show of hands, how many of you guys read the story before Friday? So I gave it to you earlier in the week.
Oh, I did not read anything.
And so,
reading Mr. Brovicast.
and so that, then another question. Did any of you guys look at the review guide I sent out? By a show of hands. Then, those of you who looked at review guide, did it help?
Yeah.
Alright. Is it a thing I should keep doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it requires me to extra work on my part, and if you guys were all like, that's stupid, then I'm not going to do it. But if you read the story ahead of time and then did those things, I'm trying to find ways to help you. And like the review guide was the thing that the kids told me to do last year. It was an idea that came from them and stuff like that. I'm trying to come up with ways to help you guys. So here are the questions that we seem to struggle on. So going through it, what was for fun they had, the biggest external conflict? Well, so one, I'm not going to just tell you answers because that's not going to help you next week when you do the quiz again. Not this quiz, but next quiz. I want to walk you through how my thinking is so you understand how to take it. So what word do you have to use in external conflict?
Versus.
Versus. All of these have verses in them, so that's not going to help you. So then the next thing is, what is the definition of external conflict?
Fighting.
Major fight. What was the big fight that happened in the story?
Marge versus
And what were they fighting about? So they were fighting about the book and school. So looking on here, which one of these would most likely connect to that?
me versus Marge.
So there you go. Throughout the whole thing, Tommy never really fights the book. And we don't, Margie talks about hating her computer teacher at the end because it gives her homework. And Margie is mad that she has to come inside because of her mom. But that would not be the biggest fight. That was like, I know, a lot of you guys are used to when you take a quiz that you can just go back and look and find the immediate answer and just look for the first thing. That's not how I write quizzes. And I think for a lot of you, that was that first struggle as we go through here. You can't just read my question and then quickly look and find it. My goal is to make you think. I know you hate thinking and that you guys resist it as much as possible. But how I write my quizzes is not going to change. So I'm just trying to help you understand how I do it. Or I'm trying to find ways to make you think because I like it when you guys think. You're smarter than you give yourself credit for. Daniel.
Can I empty this?
Right over there. I'm going to skip 2. Most kids got that one right. 3. From the fun they had. Which of these is not an important part of the plot? What's the definition of plot?
Things that happen in the story.
What happens in the story? One of these was not plot because I snuck in a character description to see if you could tell the difference between plot and character description.
Tommy who can be a young jerk. I got that right.
So this one was just, did you know the difference between a plot point and a character description? All these other ones are things that happened in the book. This was just going to be a character description in the book.
Yeah.
Skipping 4 and 5, you guys did well on that one. For this one, here are the 2 major issues. For when was the best setting of the fun they had? Number 1 answer was house. Why was that wrong?
Because it's a setting.
It does say setting. So
Where?
Go.
No, because
Yeah.
like the time.
it's the where. I wanted the when. And so a lot of kids put house and then had to go back and go, oh, reading. Then the next most common answer was May 17th, 2157, which is straight from the article. Why is that wrong?
It's not one word.
That was not one word. So this is where you had to then limit it to one word, and kids would be like, I don't know, how do I?
I'll put
Of all those parts, May 17th, 2157, of those 3 parts, is it more important it was in May, on the 17th, or set 200 years in the future?
200 years in the future.
So which things did you write down?
the year.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted you to figure out. If you just wrote future, I'll give you a point. If you email me and you send me an email, I will go back and look at yours. And this is where, if you're a man enough or woman enough to email me and then say, hey, I had future down, then I will go back and I will change it for you.
That's my
Addy
weird.
Batty?
I got confused because May was the only word.
Yeah, I know.
I see it.
You could've asked.
57. I was gonna put that.
7. From the fun they had, point of view. I don't think point of view was super tough. Was it first or third?
It was third.
So, knowing that you can knock out second person, you're not a ghost. That should have been easy
Oh,
for
yeah.
you. Oh, by the way, I write my own quizzes, so I get bored sometimes. So I put random answers on there to see who's paying attention. You can ignore them or you can read them. It's just because sometimes when I take a quiz, I would like to be able to entertain myself. So I put little things on there to try to make you smile. If you don't smile, that's fine. It makes me smile. So if it's third, you can take out first. Is Tommy in every scene? No. At the very end of it, Tommy's not there. So it's either omniscient or limited. Is Margie in every scene?
Yeah.
So then that was all I wanted you to go through and figure out. And again, it requires you to stop and think and not just guess. 8. Which of these internal conflicts actually occurs? What's the definition of internal conflict? What word do you have to use?
Or.
All of these
Or.
use or. What word should you never use?
Not.
None of them use not. I didn't give you any easy ones, which meant you had to then read them to figure it out. Again, if you read them, I don't think it was super bad. Because as you went through, does Tommy ever throw the book away?
No.
Never happens. Wait, what was her teacher?
Robot.
Do robots make decisions?
No.
So you can toss that one out. Are there any pencils in the story?
No.
No. Because not that one. Does Margie have to decide about reading the book?
Yes.
So your answer is going to be, did you need to go somewhere? Yeah, right. So that's what I was looking for on that one. Then for the fun they had, let's see. This one I agree could have been a legit tough one. It was not straight from the story. It required Gesundheit for you to take a moment to think. But the whole point of this story, the reason I liked it, is it's set in the future where there's no more human teachers. Everything is done on iPads and computers because kids complain about having human teachers. And I figured, why not give you a story where there are no human teachers? The problem is, do kids like having all computer teachers in the future?
No.
No, they hate it. And they're like, man, the kids in the old days must have really had a good time.
Can I use my voice to go to the bathroom?
As soon as he gets back, yeah. So in here, you had to go through and read things to figure out which one of those were talking about the kids enjoying it in the old days. And that would be, there you go. That's what I was looking for on that one. I mean, I think they're all easy, but I love my quiz. Then jumping to voices, where it says, where do we discover most of the story actually took place?
The imaginary dream.
So, why was this one not right? The whole thing was happening in a hospital room.
Because we found that out in the end.
Because where is it at the very beginning?
The car crash.
So that's why I put the whole stories not at the very end. Yes, at the beginning, we're at the car wreck. So yeah, the whole thing was in his coma. That one is the one that works the best. Again, I was afraid, this was my way of checking to see how you guys just scanned and went, hospital, and then chose it. Again, trying to make you take your time and read. But I don't want to, I know. Skipping 11, go to 12. So again, for the voices, on this one, what is this an example of? So looking at it, I gave you resolution, internal conflict, irony, rising action, foreshadowing. To know if it's going to be resolution or rising action, you have to know what part of the story this takes place in. When does he wake up screaming from the bad nightmare?
It's the beginning.
Very beginning. What is the very beginning of a story called?
Resolution.
Exposition. Is exposition an answer?
No.
So that knocks out resolution and knocks out rising action. So now you have internal conflict, irony, foreshadowing. What's the definition of internal conflict?
Stop thinking.
Is this a decision?
No.
No. Last week, had I taught you irony yet?
No.
No. What's the only option left?
Foreshadow.
So that's how I want you guys to be able to go through and do the answers on there. 13. What does this mean?
Fear.
So that's all I wanted you to do was to see how well you took notes for the whole learning. I took learn, learns, learned. If you put learning,
Absolutely.
it didn't give you credit, but again, if you email me, I will go look at learning and I can give
I'll
you credit
put
for
learn.
it.
Put that right.
Go you. 14. What part of the story mountain is the voices attack Samus Mathlas and cause his chest to explode, which finally kills him? Hang on, before you answer, good job. But in the mountain, there are only, what's the very beginning of the mountain called? Then,
Rising action, falling action, resolution.
now here's a question. Of these 5 parts, only 2 of them deal with exciting parts of the story. Which 2 parts deal with exciting?
Rising action.
Nicely done. Did I put rising action as an option?
No.
So that was my way of trying to be nice to you. This is an exciting part. 2 parts deal with exciting parts. I only gave you 1 as an option. So I try to help you if you take time to think. And then the last one, on there we find out the story is taking place in the year 2157 in the future, about 2. If you went and looked in the story, do you know which part of the story do they introduce the characters and talk about it being in the future? The very beginning. What do we call the very beginning? That's all you had to do. If you went and looked at the story, that's literally the first sentence of the story. That's why I was trying to help you figure out the exposition. There you go. Oh, by the way, every time that I have a spelling thing, I'm always going to spell something wrong to try to get your attention. Because for some reason, kids like making fun of me. Period up.
I'm laughing at you with the robot.
I should make a new ice cream flavor.
If you are wanting to fix your quiz, you can. I won't give you credit if you don't email me. If you don't email me, I am not going to look in there to give you the credit. So as soon as you finish redoing it and hitting submit, email me, and then I can be nice to you. Excuse me. Questions as far as quiz went? Then, let's talk about cool kids. Oh wait, not yet. We get to torture 2 kids.
Can I pick them? I'm not
Struggle Town. So if you try to do it to me,
As soon as your
I'm
name
not
is
Struggle
Karis.
Town.
Oh, that's Struggle
All right,
Town.
you are Karis. Good
Can I
job.
go again?
Do we have a volunteer who has not gone yet?
Oh, I haven't gone in 3 years.
And we do.
For a monkey tree.
You have robbed poor Karis of getting a chance to torture kids. Sophia becomes the new torturer of kids. The one that raised her
You
hand?
want a living or
I
one
wasn't
or
looking.
Sophia to death?
I was. All right. I'm going to pause so you can't hear the kids going. We'll come back to you in just a
Yeah,
moment.
sorry.
And we're back. So to you guys, you have
We're
put
back.
entry in table of contents on the left-hand side.
Yes, I have.
Should be our third one down on page 5. Well, make sure your page 5 is empty before you put page 5 there, because some kids have written on page 5, so
Yeah,
your page 5 is good. If your page 5 is good, turn to page 5.
Okay.
And you're going to put date up there, title up there. So this assignment does not go on Canvas. You are not submitting on Canvas. Everything is just going to be written in notebook, and then I will come around and check the notebook. When is this due? Today.
Thursday.
Just like it tells you there or there, it is due Thursday. Most of you will probably get it done in class. It's 10 questions that go pretty quick. If you don't, you have best today. You also have tomorrow and stuff like that. Ooh. Speaking of tomorrow, we are in the library tomorrow. The only thing you have to bring tomorrow is going to be your book that you want to read. And so they have a lesson that we're going to do over there first, and then after we have the lesson, we will have the loft open. You have to have 25 points and have not lost any points for the week. If you've lost points for the week, you're out of luck, and you have to have a book and stuff like that. So that'll be tomorrow. I'll get your questions in a moment. Let me put this up. Here are the 5 questions that we're going to start off with. So, the blue sheet you have in front of you, I found an article where there are these researchers that followed a group of kids from like 7th and 8th grade all the way until they graduated college. And the goal was to see if these kids who were popular in junior high, if it impacted them later in life. And it turned out there was a connection to how popular they were in junior high to how their life turned out later on. And so that's what I thought was interesting. So here are the 5 things I just want your opinion on. So you're going to tell me why you agree or disagree, what your thoughts are on each one. The first one, being popular is directly tied to happiness in junior high. Meaning, the more popular, the more happy. The less popular, the less happy. Agree, disagree, and then explain to me why. 2, popular kids are popular for a good reason. Meaning that whatever the reason is they're popular, you think it is a solid and a good one for the reason why they are the popular kids. 3, I have never seen a popular kid do something stupid on purpose. And so we'll see, apparently that might be an issue, that sometimes kids do dumb things on purpose to become
Most
popular.
people do that.
And 4, anyone could be popular if they really wanted to be. So the idea there again that do you agree or disagree that it's popular or that that's possible? And 5, I would gladly give up anything to be the most popular kid.
Nope.
And so again, explain to me why. There are 5 more questions, but I can't show them to you until we get to the article. This is just the before the article part. Daniel, what's up?
So 4, no, because if you're one of them nerds that.
That's why you're writing it down.
Oh.
That's literally what the homework is.
Can I go through the?
They're your points.
Huh?
I said they're your points.
How much points do you lose?
Same as always.
How much?
I don't know. That's why you pay attention.
Let me just shower. I know, but I need so much I have.
You might want to get this done first, because it's going to disappear off the screen, that we can try to have you not stand in the future.
I'll take a picture.
Yep, I'm actually not going to let you leave until it's done. Sorry. What?
Take a picture.
You can. It's on Canvas if you need it also, but if you want to, that's fine. Yeah, this is up on Canvas. I put all the questions on there along with a copy of the article to help you out. And I'm going to distract you in a moment, because I just want to ask some of your opinions here in a second.
Do you write the answer or do you write the question?
Just the answers. You don't. I already know what my question is, so you don't have to rewrite the question. If you want to, that's fine. Some kids like writing things, but I'm not going to make you. the same way. Oh. Home children, if you're having trouble reading it up there, then on Canvas you just go to Tuesday and there's a little button that says like popular kid questions. You just hit that and then you'll see all of them. Make things easier. Also, if you need to see a copy of the article, it's also there. You just go right above it. You go hit that also. Right.
I can't find it, Mr. Kirby.
Can't find what?
Your canvas page is very strange.
How's it strange? It should be straightforward. I mean, I tried to set it up where everything's on that first page as soon as you go to it. You just gotta.
So many links and
Yeah. I don't know what you want me to tell you. And don't forget the part where you're writing sentences, because if you just put yes, no, agree, disagree, that would cost you points, and that would be awful since the homework comes due Thursday. We all know how direction following would work with kids nowadays.
I didn't do that.
No, I would never accuse you of such a thing. That's awful. Although I am going to push your desk back as you scooted it about 12 feet forward. There you go. While you are continuing to write, I'm just going to be asking your opinions on things from there. I just want to see if you guys agree or disagree with each one to sort of give me an idea of where your opinions lie for this class. So for the first one, being popular is directly tied to happiness in junior high. If you agree, raise hand. Disagree, raise hand. Interesting. It's been interesting each class how things sort of change. 2, popular kids are popular for a good reason. Agree? Disagree. Well, that's interesting. Why are they popular? 3, I have never seen a popular kid do something stupid on purpose. Agree? Disagree.
I have a story.
Sure we do. 4, anyone could be popular if they really wanted to be. Agree? Disagree. Interesting. And 5, I would gladly give up anything to be the most popular kid. Agree? Disagree. Huh. So you can keep writing. I'm just going to be asking questions as we go. Ooh, no. All right, let me ask another question that's not up there, that came from a previous class period. Without pointing, and don't say a name, and don't try to make like awkward eye contact, I'm going to ask, in your opinion, if we have popular kids in this room. And because that's going to sort of go to my conversation. So, with what you think of as popular kids, raise your hand if you say, yes, I think there are popular kids in this room. And then if you say, no, the kids I consider popular are not in this room. Interesting. So here's my question. First period told me being called popular is bad. That they take it as more of an insult than it being a compliment. But then, like, my third period completely disagreed and went a different direction. And then fourth period was kind of split. And so I was like, maybe I can do this one. Is popularity important to your guys' age group now?
No.
Actually, it depends on
It depends.
Interesting.
Really.
Because that question has gotten me a lot of different responses today. Where I've had some classes who went, nope, we could care less. And then other classes that are sort of split and leaning. So, okay. And then I was also told there's a difference between being popular and being well known.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, what's the difference there?
Well, you know a lot of people and you have a lot of acquaintances.
People
have
well
a lot
known
of popular
is
people.
like
You're
more
not scared of the
in a lot of
Huh.
goes with like you're just not a lot of people know.
Well known is a lot of
But
friends.
if you're well known, like people
Well-known
know.
Hang on.
know you.
Which is better, well known or popular?
Well known, popular.
Really? Okay, so we have a slight. So most seem to go for the well known, and then that is interesting. Sorry, part of why I like teaching is talking to you guys, like finding out your opinions on thoughts of these things as they change over time, and that's been interesting. Huh.
Well known is like
Being popular
people
doesn't really
like
scare
know
you.
you.
Yes, it does.
Because I know
Like, they know,
that's not really matter.
Mr.
they don't know
Brovia.
you personally, but they know,
Of you?
they know of
Yeah.
you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, is that popular or well known?
Popular is people, but popular you have to have a lot of friends or people people that you know well.
Ooh, all right.
You don't really have that.
Then one more question before I do the reading for you here. Do you feel that in 7th grade this year, is there a group of like mean popular kids?
Yeah.
Interesting. So,
One name it's so
so the reason I ask is that I've asked that question in different classes, and I've had classes go, no, we have none this year. And so it's interesting where that, again, from one class period to the next, where I get wildly different answers from like the same group of kids. Daniel.
Only one kid so.
Yeah, you can't, the part where you can't attack a single kid, I have to mean to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I know one.
Um,
I know a group.
this is gonna disappear. If you're not done, again, it's on Canvas. But I'm gonna give you the next questions. So, as I read the article, 6 and 7. 6 is just, what do you think you're gonna find out in this article? Aside from being cool in middle school is not good for your future, why? Like, what connection do you think is gonna show up? And then 7, I realized I wanted to know your personal opinion. Like, what do you think about popularity? Good, bad, stuff like that. 8, 9, and 10, the same questions we did before. 8 is going to be what surprised you. 9 is going to be opinion. 10 is going to be fact. All right, I'll go through and read, and we'll go from there. Oh, do you guys know what the word delinquent means?
Delinquent, yeah, I heard of it.
stupid.
Not quite.
Idiot.
So,
Reread.
delinquent is doing things that are wrong or getting in trouble. So, I can see the connection.
My grandma calls me
Juliana?
a delinquent.
It's still been a joke on.
Sure. I mean, yeah, as long as, you can't just put it bad. So tell me why it bad and something like that. Okay. For those who reign in middle school hallways, it does not get better, according to a recent study. Researchers from the University of Virginia looked at the life outcomes for those who are considered popular in middle school. Those who were more likely to engage in adult behaviors at a young age found that they were less likely to have healthy relationships 10 years later or to have found success. So what they did for this was they went through and interviewed a whole bunch of teenagers who were like in 7th and 8th grade and had them fill out surveys and then followed them for the next 10 years, having them fill out the surveys when they were in high school, college, and whatnot, asking, who did you think was popular? Are they still popular? Are you happy? And because a lot of it was other kids would say they were popular and stuff like that. Sure. The study followed 184 adolescents from communities in the southeastern region of the country, meaning down around Alabama, Carolinas, and stuff like that, starting when they were 13 and ending at 23. Through a series of interviews and surveys, the researchers found that the cool kids in middle school were more likely to have engaged, I want you to actually do the work, have engaged in in romantic behavior at young ages, participated in delinquent activity, and picked friends based on their levels of physical attractiveness. So essentially, those kids who were cool in junior high more often would start dating while they were in junior high, often would get themselves in trouble, and then often only picked friends they thought other people would think of as attractive. Do you guys know what being superficial means?
No.
Superficial is where you only care about like the outside surface of people and not like the deep down who they are. So like you're not trying to figure out if someone's good or bad, you just care about how they look or something like that.
Yeah.
It says superficial.
However, by high school, their peers were less impressed by such behavior, and the popularity of cool middle school kids tended to fade. Years later, the study found that kids who were popular in middle school were also more likely to have engaged in criminal behavior and had more trouble managing their social relationships. It appears that while so-called cool teens... I apologize. Now you have the homework of the blue sheet, but it's a quick article. It's fun. I mean, it's about cool kids having bad things happen to them. Tomorrow we go to library.
Have we answered 6 questions?